Right, so today I've got the lovely Liz Sharp with me, and I met Liz a little while ago when we were singing in the same events. Liz, it's lovely spending some time with you today. Thanks for coming on to the live chat here. Can you tell us a little bit about you and your background and how you spend your time?
Right, hello, boys. Good to see you.
Right.
Right, I describe myself as a recycled teenager because I'm 73 chronologically, but inside I'm about 25.
Excellent.
I'm single and retired, and I used to be an NHS sort of thing. So I'm enjoying retiring from that. I've always been very sporty and active all my life, and a lot of my interests and so on are outside. I'm also very keen on dance, so I do ballet and tap. Well, I did walked in. So walking, obviously, I can still do.
Yeah.
And I used to love swimming, but again, it's difficult to access that at the moment. And particularly during the lockdown and everything, I do love my garden. I've got a nice garden, and I'm always out there as soon as the sun shines. I do other things as well, like I'm a scientist at heart. I love science and everything to do with science. So I do a lot of kind of online research and so on, which is useful when you're using technology so much more now to communicate with everyone.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Carry on.
The other thing, which obviously, Paul, you know about me, I've had a hereditary disease in my ears. I was born with it, and I started going deaf when I was a child. And gradually I've lost it, and I'm now registered profoundly deaf. But with modern technology, it's amazing. I'm talking to you now using all sorts of gadgets, and have smart hearing aids and everything. But I really appreciate how you understand that and make sure we can communicate effectively. The nightmare at the moment, obviously, for me is the mask wearing. So when everybody else is wearing masks, I can't breathe. So I have to guess a lot of the time what they're saying.
It's not easy for me either, to be honest.
The other thing is, obviously, we met through our job of singing, and I used to sing in choral society as well as doing the show choirs and etc. But when I had surgery a couple of years ago, my vocal cords were damaged by the anaesthetic, the application of the anaesthetic, so I can no longer sing. So I've had to focus on all the other things that I enjoy.
Do you know, Liz, one of the things that I have always known about you is that you always focus on the things that you can do, which, is such a brilliant lesson, I think, for everyone, because, as you say, you've struggled with your hearing. You now can't do the singing because of your vocal cords being damaged, but you don't focus on those things. You look at, what you can do, and I think that is such an inspiration. So, you asked for my help a little while ago, and I wanted to know, why was it so important to get your nutrition right at that time?
Right. Well, there are several reasons, really. With all the awareness of keeping healthy to try and prevent catching this horrible virus, I realised that I needed to get everything right. My nutrition, my exercise, my general well-being. And I've tried to sort of broaden my attitude out to look at the holistic side, which is what you teach me, rather than just focusing on getting rid of the lockdown extra weight that a lot of people put on. And I thought, well, I do need that, but also I just want to live a lot more years to the full, with keeping healthy all round, for as long as I can. I'd rather go out at the age of 95 dancing a tap dance than sit in a chair and give up.
I love that. I love that philosophy.
Yeah, but I think because during well, it's still going on now, but during lockdown and since, all my regular things have been cancelled, like my ballet, yoga, all my dance, and obviously social groups where we might have gone walking together or whatever. And although there have been classes online, I live in a very small flat, so there isn't a lot of space. So I can do a ballet class in my bathroom, holding on to the foundation. But I can't do much leaping around and sort of aerobic exercise. And the other thing was, I was, no matter how hard I tried, my energy was so low. And I thought, it's got to be, I'm lacking a lot of nutritional benefits of something in order to, otherwise, to keep motivation going and to keep doing the right thing, it's so hard.
Yeah.
And, when obviously you haven't, you sort of fall out of bed and crawl around and think, oh, I've got to go for a walk and I can't. And, I got very worried about the effects, on my heart and blood pressure, etc.
Yeah.
I think when you get to my age, your metabolism is slower. So I needed to take drastic action, really. And at the beginning of August, I did give up sugar and bad carbs in an effort to, and increasing my walking to at least 10,000 steps a day. But I still didn't have the energy. I did lose 8 pounds in 7 weeks, which usually happens when you start a significant different diet. But I was still struggling with the lack of energy and also my breathing. So it's hard, since giving up seeing, I don't use my lungs as fully as I would normally. And I've tried so many programs in the past. I knew that I couldn't do it on my own, so I, needed ongoing support. And you happen to pop up in my newsfeed with something, and just at the right moment, and I thought, this is meant to be. So that's how I came to.
Very, very synchronistic.
Oh,
So Liz, we had a chat, didn't we? Quite a long chat, which I do, with all of my prospective clients. And you talked about the fact that you had become mainly vegan now. So how is that going?
Yeah, well, there's sort of 2 aspects to it. Obviously, we're being encouraged to become vegan to help the planet, but also for health reasons. I struggled a bit with it because I've been a vegetarian most of the time for about the last 50 years. I became vegetarian when you were cranky hippie, you know, and everybody thought you were a bit odd. And although over the years I have occasionally, when I've kind of craved fish, I've had some oily fish or whatever. But you know, I was predominantly vegetarian.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of research, and my problem is because I'm a very scientific sort of focused person, I know that human beings are omnivores, so we're not designed to just survive on, you know, vegetables and, you know, sort of a vegan diet. So that was a bit of a dilemma for me, but I have worked very hard. I did a lot of, I learnt to do some really good healthy vegan cooking, but obviously you have to think about it a lot more because you have to make sure you're getting protein. So I was just worried I wouldn't get all the protein my body needed. So you know, I'm sort of persisting with it, but I'll see how I go. But you know, I'm not, if I fall off the wagon and have some eggs or some sardines or something because I feel I need it, my body will crave it because sometimes because you know, if I think I need it, it's not a big disaster for me. So
exactly. And like you say, if your body is telling you that you need it, then you know, it's silly not to do it. You know, I mean, I remember when I gave up meat for about 7 years and was vegetarian, and then I just had this terrible craving for it, and I thought, you know, I've just got to go with what my body is telling me, and that's how I tend to eat these days, in a much more mindful way. So listen to your body, I would say. So I suggested some Herbalife products for you to use. Obviously, most of those are vegan, which is good. And, you know, by using the products, obviously any deficiencies that you may have had as a vegan, we managed to compensate for. So how have you found it so far, and how are you feeling using the products?
Right. Well, I have had Herbalife before when you tried to get me started about in 2013 it was.
It was about 2014,
But I didn't use any online facilities, and I didn't really get into it no matter how much you supported me, and then for personal reasons I stopped. So as soon as I opened my first shake and made it, I remember how lovely. I mean, I absolutely loved the flavour of the shake, particularly there are a couple that I've got already. I started with one and then added another flavour. With the PDM, I really, obviously that wasn't around one I tried before.
That's right.
And that was marvellous. It's so versatile. With the protein bars, I said to you that I don't think I can eat a whole one. And you said to me, oh, put them in the fridge and then you can cut them into small pieces. I thought, oh, wow, yes, that's really good for me. And I usually have one in my handbag now. So if I'm on a really long walk and I start feeling a bit, you know, like a bit wobbly, I can get one out and have it, which is marvelous.
Yeah.
But
Excellent.
yes, I think now again, my scientific mind is loving the, you know, the science behind it, and I've been reading articles where people with no connection to Herbalife are actually looking at it, recommending it, or saying it's a good thing, because because of the nutritious benefits, and the way that it's again researched and scientifically produced. But I think for me, the benefit, the first benefit, obviously, with my energy increased so quickly. I mean, after a couple of days, and I've got energy now that I don't remember the last time I had. It's a very positive energy, the more it increases, the better I feel in general. But my mind is much clearer, and my concentration, because not only was I lacking in energy, but I had a sort of foggy brain, and I just thought, oh, it's my age, you know. But that's really good. I've had another unexpected benefit has been I was actually taking Gaviscon antacid tablets every day after every meal, and very often at night as well before I lay down to try and get to sleep. I had indigestion. I haven't had a single one since I started.
That's brilliant.
I just know, I think, you know, I had them beside the bed and I haven't touched the packet for ages. And I thought, no, I haven't had one since I got back on the Herbalife.
That's brilliant. That is so brilliant.
Yes, and I'm sleeping very well every night, because I got in a really bad habit of, I would, at the end of my day, I could easily have gone to bed about 10, past, but I would just lie on my recliner on the sofa, watching sort of really what I call TV dross, you know, repeats of programs I watched about 5 or 6 years ago, because I liked factual things, but they were things, you know, quite out of date because I'd seen them before. And I'm thinking, why am I putting off going to bed? And I think it was because I was worried I wouldn't sleep properly.
Yeah.
So now, because I'm getting very good daytime routine, I'm happy to go and get ready for bed about 10 o'clock.
Excellent.
And but then I'm sleeping so well. The only time I get up now is when I've had some of my glasses of water a bit too late in the day, and I have to get up a couple of times.
Well, that's fine. That's okay.
The other thing I think about, you know, thinking about how I'm feeling now, when I exercise now and the rest of the time, I'm breathing properly. I'm taking full breaths and, you know, exhaling, and it gets easier and easier. My steps, my daily steps target on my Fitbit was always, you know, locked in at 10K, and without realizing it, I'm walking a bit further and a bit further each day, and I'm now totaling between 13 and 14K. You know, this is in 3 weeks. You know, and so that's brilliant. I'm really pleased about that.
Oh, that's incredible, Liz. And you know, and you've put the effort in, of course. You know, you've been consistent with it. You've used the products every single day, and you're feeling the benefits, and that is just amazing. This is how it's meant to work. So yeah, it's good to hear. It's good to hear all of the benefits that you're having using the products. So thanks for sharing that with us. So what was I going to ask next? So do you think it's easy to follow a nutrition plan without having a coach to guide you? I know that you've done that. So I always check in with my clients at least once a week, and they know that I'm on the other end of a phone if they need me. So, do you find it's a lot better having a coach to support you rather than trying to do it on your own?
I think it would be impossible for me to do this for lifelong benefits without support. I can't think of anybody who would actually be serious about their getting fit really without some support. But I mean, the way that you do it, you're regularly and so on yourself, which I can watch. But the fact that I know you are always there. I mean, I could, if I wake up at midnight and think of something, I know I can sort of send you a text and you'll respond in the morning straight away. I think I have a bad history of willpower. I start with good intentions, and then, after a period of time, I say, oh, I fancy a Mars bar, sod it, oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear, should I?
Don't worry.
If I have someone, I think because it's you and we've worked together before on it, you tried so hard the first time round. This time it is for keeps, as far as I'm concerned. So it does help me, the fact that I know you will be there. I trust that you will always be there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good.
The other thing that you mentioned was that you're finding that the support group on Facebook was very useful. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's helped me in a lot of ways, really. I mean, the obvious one is looking at people's successes. When they come on or their results, say they've had only a month on the plan, and they've put up photos of their weight loss or the way that they look now. It's so motivating. I mean, I chose not to put pictures of myself on or anything. I'll probably I'm only going to weigh about once a month, so I shall obviously put I might do a little report on that. But it's the fact that, I mean, I can go on there whenever I feel like it and be inspired. So that's good. But also the tips for things like shake recipes and meals and so on, and exercise. I mean, the other day somebody recommended standing up and doing exercise at times when you wouldn't normally. So watching TV or watching using the PC and looking at something on the PC.
Yeah.
And they were demonstrating how they would, stand up, look at TV, and they're doing lunges and stretches and everything. I thought, what a brilliant idea. So I'm actually, that's one of the things that I really am doing. And again, because of my lack of space, I can't do any huge movement. So something like that is brilliant. And I'd never thought of it myself. I think because of my hearing problem and I have balance problems, then it's really good to get exercise tips that I can adapt and modify, so
Yeah.
that I always do things with either a chair nearby to grab if I overbalance, or things that are safe for me to do. So
Yeah.
I mean, all of that really has come from the support of the group. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
That's really good. And a lot of people, I know that this isn't you, but a lot of people feel that they can get results very quickly, that there's some kind of quick fix with, achieving what we want to with our health and our fitness. So how do you view it?
Oh, I'm a master of quick fixes in the past. And for me, that's probably very silly for me personally, because I know, yes, it's great. You go on a sort of a drastic eating plan or diet or something, and the pounds fly off, and you're feeling, yes, I'm doing well here. But once that first surge gives you quite a big weight loss in the early days, then I've always reached a plateau, and I've just lost heart so quickly because I just sort of get stuck. And again, this willpower thing with me, if I get disheartened quite quickly by that, and there I am back to square one. The thing is, now I'm not doing a quick or a slow fix on just losing weight or just getting fit. This is my plan for life that I'm going to keep doing. And assuming I've got another good 20 years or so ahead of me.
I'm sure you have.
Well, my old granny used to say, if I'm living, spared. But I want it to, if I want it to be vital and healthy and so on. And so I've got that 20 years to keep going. I don't, nobody's breathing down my neck to say, you've got to lose that much and blah, blah, blah. So one of the tips I've got, one of the tips I've got from your Zoom chat a while ago was to look at some of the things that your personal trainer has said to you. For example, don't focus on muscles. Weighing regularly has to be taken alongside other factors. So I decided I'm only going to weigh once a month, although I did this morning so I could tell you how I was doing, because I've only been going for 3 weeks. But normally I'm only going to do once a week. Now I kept, after my failed attempt back in 2013 with you, I kept all my charts, I kept all my facts and figures, and I looked back at that and I decided I was going to take my waist measurement because that's important for me to check my BMI. But I didn't take any other measurements. I thought rather than do that, I would rely on what I looked like to be. So visual appearance, was I losing my two spare tires, or was I getting my waist back? So after only 3 weeks, I've actually got a proper defined waist, and my spare tires are fast disappearing. The one above my waist is virtually disappeared already, and the one below my waist is more of a bicycle tire rather than a tractor tire. And of course, winter clothes, I've just got all my winter clothes out and they're all loose. So I'm having to wear belts to hold my trousers up.
That's
So
brilliant.
definitely no quick fix for me.
Yeah, and but you know, you've had some very good results in a very short time.
Yeah,
And you know, and actually using your clothes and the way you look is a really good way to gauge how
yeah,
you're doing. And yeah, it's kind of okay to jump on the scales now and again,
yeah.
um, but it's not the most important thing, to
No,
be honest. There's lots of other ways, and I think you were saying earlier that, you know, this is more about your general health as you get older. And, you know, I've always said I don't mind getting older as long as I'm healthy as
yeah,
I'm getting older. It doesn't matter to me. You know, as long as I'm feeling good, then
yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
matter. It's just a
Yeah.
number. So
Yes,
that's
and
really good.
also I think I mean I've lost 5 pounds in the 3 weeks.
That's good.
You know, I have it after my way this morning, so I'm very happy with that. But things like
Excellent.
obviously I take a pride in my appearance. I love nice clothes, and I also like uh, keep my skin good. And my skin, I am sure my skin is better as well in that 3 weeks. It looks healthier
Excellent.
too. So I thought I'd mention that as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is so good. Thanks for sharing all of that, Liz. So I do want to say thank you so much for sharing this time. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure that lots of people will get some value from having listened to what you've achieved, and, you know, and the fact that you have this amazing can-do attitude all the time.
Thank you. Yes, it's good to have that sort of feedback.
Yeah. So, so lastly, if anyone feels that they want to achieve their health and fitness goals, and and would like to achieve them, um, they can actually come to us, of course, at HW Total Wellness. And we create individualized plans for everyone. We do free online wellness consultations. So Liz, just a last word. If anyone's thinking about doing that, what would be your message to them? If they're not, you know, they haven't decided yet, but what would you say to them?
Well, I mean, obviously, the first thing I would say is don't try and go it alone. Get expert help
Yeah,
and guidance, you know, across the whole spectrum of not just nutrition, but exercise and overall well-being.
yeah,
Um, and having a personal qualified coach who's there for you, and a great online network of support, I think is best for anyone who's serious about permanent changes to their
yeah,
life. You know, I know from experience that it's not really possible to go it alone. So that's my that's my thought.
excellent. Well, Liz, thank you again. And it's been so lovely talking with you. And I'm so glad that you're getting the results that you were looking for. And I know that that's going to continue because, you know, you're focusing on what you're eating, you're doing the exercise, you're doing absolutely everything to maximize your health and fitness. So well done to you. And
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for coming on.
That's a pleasure. Yes, it's good to share success, isn't it?
Right,
Yes.
so